All right, shout out to Liz.
Hi, Liz.
Hi, Liz. All right, you guys pay attention. We're gonna do. Should we tell our new student the why we shout out to Liz? So when Mr. Adams first started recording these videos, you guys kind of settle down. I had a student in my math class, and her name was Liz. And every time I would say, "Okay, I'm going to start recording," she would say, "Give me a shout out." And I said, "I can't give you a shout out because I don't like to give shout outs to students that I have in class because you're not supposed to talk about students on the internet, right?" But she graduated a really long time ago. So now, in memory of Liz, and I shouldn't say in memory of Liz, Liz is fine. She's an adult now and has her own family and stuff. But we start almost every video with a shout out to Liz. Anyways, we're going to do problem number 4. Shout out to Liz. Problem number 4, I'm going to copy and paste this and put it in the Jamboard notes. So that way you guys can look at this later. Please pay attention. You guys asked for this problem. So, oh, I was doing a little shopping there. I did. You weren't paying attention. Too late. That ship has sailed. All right. So now this says, write the equation of a linear relationship in slope-intercept form using decimals as needed. So remember that the slope-intercept form, that's why. Remember that the slope-intercept form is written in the form y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is what we call the y-intercept. Okay? So the first step is I got to find the slope. So the slope is easy. I'm going to say m is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 all over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. All right? So now, I'm going to pick 2 points. I'm going to make this x sub 1, y sub 1. Oh, I wrote 2, but I said 1. And I'm going to make this x sub 2, y sub 2. So I think this is very important. What is x sub 1 when I say I'm going to make x sub 1 this? Can somebody tell me what it is? 25. What is y sub 1? 94.5. And what is x sub 2? 35. And what is y sub 2? 89.5. I apologize for my tablet being goofy. I think I need to calibrate it. I don't know what's wrong with it. It just writes weird. Anyways, what's y sub 1? 89.5. This is so weird. 89.5. Minus y sub 1. What's y sub 1? 94.5. All over x sub 1, or x sub 2, which is 35, minus x sub 1, which is 25. Now, I can do this on my calculator in one swoop. So I'm going to pull up my handy-dandy calculator. And I'm going to, in parentheses, put, let me make this a little smaller. What did I have here? Let's do 89.5 minus 94.5. Close off the numerator, divided by the denominator, which is 35 minus 25. And I get negative 0.5 for my slope. So that means that, remember, at some point in time, wherever there's an m, I'm going to put in negative 0.5. What else do I need to complete the slope-intercept form? I need the y-intercept. I need to know what b is. Now, here is the problem. I don't know what b is. I have to solve for b. So to solve for b, I'm going to say y equals mx plus b. So I know what m is. M is negative 0.5. I know what m is. Do I know a y or an x value? Yeah, I do. There's a whole bunch of them up here. I can use any of these. I'm going to use this x and y value. Okay, I'm going to use that one. So when y is 94.5, I know that x is going to be 25. I'm just taking these values here. When x equals 25, y equals 94.5. And I'm plugging that in. Now, when I do that, notice that I have a bunch of numbers and the variable b. What is negative 0.5 times 25? Well, I don't know, but I can find out on the calculator. So it's a negative 12.5, and that's equal to 94.5. Now, let me ask you a question. How do I move that negative 12.5? How do I move that? Well, if I'm subtracting 12.5, what's the opposite of subtracting 12.5? Add. So I'm just going to add 12.5. And whatever I do on one side, I have to do to the other. Okay? When I do that, over here, I get 0, carry the 1, that's 7. Was that 87 equals b? Let's double check that on the calculator. So I'm going to say 12.5, 0.5 plus 94.5. Oh, wait a second. Oh, this is 10, not 8. Did you guys see my mistake? Good thing I double checked it. What's 1 plus 9? 10. So I've got b is equal to 107. So what's the equation of the line? Well, up here, I'm going to have to plug in 107. You have a question? Oh, you want to write it down? Okay. So now that I know what that is, I simply rewrite the equation as y equals m, which is negative 0.5, times x, plus b, which is 107. And that is it. That's the answer. Let's double check this and see if we're right. Let me pull this up. So I'm going to say y equals negative 0.5 times x plus 107. Oh, I can't check it on here. Trust me, it's right. Okay? Are there any questions?